Hello, hello.
Yo,
Yo, man.
Elgeko, recognize.
I'm too bad in social media advertising. I worked for advertising and I'm not bad in marketing or stuff, but I can't go this social media. I have a kind of social and it's very difficult to get people away from Twitter is not so easy, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Twitter.
No,
I avoid.
people are upvoting on Twitter and but they're kind of stuck on Twitter. They,
Yep. I try to avoid it for Twitter forever. I deleted my Facebook like 5 years ago.
yes, me too. I
I
had
have
I deleted
inst.
Twitter a long time ago and I just made an account because of the NFT art. I,
Yeah, it's the same thing with the
I
NFT. You have no choice, so you just go back to Twitter and say, "Okay, I'll do it then." But it's just because not enough people are on Hive or stuff that are actually decentralized.
yes, people don't think about privacy. They don't think about the real reasons why blockchain was invented. Blockchain was invented to completely it has the capacity to completely change the social structure from pyramid system to equal system, like a real democracy, not a farce like we
Yeah.
have with it's all countries. It doesn't matter if it's Canada, Europe, or United States. It's all shit shows.
Yeah,
It's
it
all the
is.
same Bilderberger shit show.
Canada's quite the shit show. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I was
Right
shocked
now,
about
it's
Trudeau, since Trudeau is on this and he is hardcore. It's really hefty to see. Also
I think
Australia and Canada. It's both like, what the fuck is going on? And we have the same. Practically, it's everywhere in the
I,
Western world.
I feel there's like a communist vibe that's setting in, like really like some kind of communist ideology that's been promoted as
Bebé,
for your health.
me quisieron escamear y robarme mi dinero.
Yep,
Hello,
yeah.
Bombito.
Pues
Hello,
alguien por internet.
Bombito.
Ahora te enseño.
Hola.
Hello
Wow.
there.
Hello.
How is all going?
Yeah, good man.
Nice.
Let me see here. Wombito. What's wombito mean? Does it mean anything in Spanish?
No, well, actually, it's in English. Womb is like the womb, like the
Oh,
belly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's like a small belly, a small womb, a small
Oh,
womb.
it's a
Yeah,
small belly. Got that.
yeah,
Ah, the Ito is for small, yes.
yeah. Exactly in Spanish. Yeah.
Bombito. Yeah,
So I say what?
I think the blockchain has the duty to really change the complete structure of from pyramid system to equal distributed system. And it's not just about money or Bitcoin. It was Satoshi recommended that it's just the first test of something you could do with blockchain. And it will be used to enslave us, or we could use it to have a to take down the pyramid system.
I think it's a bit of both. As you lose control, there's new anti-control mechanism that happen. So for decentralization, because it's from the top down and the down, it's from the bottom up too. So as they put a new system for enslavement, also they give us the tool for developing free ecosystem when censorship can be avoided. I don't know about you, but I follow like 30 people on YouTube for the last 10 years, and the last 2 years they all got deleted, all of them.
Yes, it's
And now I'm going watch this guy on Twitch. I'm going watch this one on BitChute, right? I have to go all over
exactly.
the place because
BitChute has gained a lot of momentum. BitChute has videos with millions of views already, so YouTube will lose in the long run. Every entity with a third party controlling the action will lose in the long run.
yeah,
Twitter will lose in the long run.
I certainly
It's
hope
just
so.
a matter of time until there is real privacy also. It's it's very hefty times and with lots of changes, and there is a fight for the megaphone, for the brainwash, for the ultimate brainwash engine.
Ultimate brainwash engine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's our
that's
next
what it
track.
is. The social is like TV on steroids because you think people think they choose what they consume, but that's not the case. It's you are sedated by tomorrow by artificial intelligence, today by semi-automated bots or something like this.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just saw a face I really like here. I saw a Bucky Dirtle on that. Bucky Dirtle,
Oh,
no
hello,
pants.
welcome.
He had no pants on this. I heard about this.
What? No
Apparently, never
pants?
wore pants. He's going around with no pants.
Hey,
And
I'm not responsible for any no pants wearing people.
Mr.
how
Never
are,
Pants.
how
Never
are you,
ever.
my friend?
I'm good. Hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you,
Yeah.
Vachemore. Good to see you.
Yeah, you don't really see me, but you're going to hear me, I guess, if you stick around. I hope you're in good health and you're having fun in Ile du Prince-Édouard,
Oh yes,
Newfoundland, Newfoundland.
yeah, all is good here in Newfoundland. We had snow a couple of days ago, but beyond that, everything's great.
Are you still into the corporate world?
No, no, my day
Video?
job is I'm a music teacher, online music teacher. I wouldn't bother with such silliness as corporate things.
Because I remember you told me you were a little bit in video production and stuff like that. Not anymore.
Oh yeah, I do that stuff. Yeah, but that's all. That's more from an artistic standpoint. But I do some corporate work. Yes, but I keep those corporate people in check.
I
How about you?
was
Are you busy making art these days? Lots of
well.
photography. What are you
I
doing?
was telling. I'll tell you about photography. I was telling Elgeko before the show that it's basically my last week at my studio that I built from ground up for the last 10 years. So I kind of happy about that. I'm retiring from the corporate world, not really retiring per se, but more like I'm moving away from corporate because I was a director for TV, spot, and web video, corporate video, fashion video, food. Basically, the ad that you skip on YouTube. That's what I do.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're getting out of that. And if you're getting out of that, I promise never to skip any more of your stuff.
While when I see my own corporate job, I skip it too. So no blame there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done a lot of video production for corporate over the years, of course, and the thing that's always bothered me more than anything is trying to present a corporate client with an artistic view and them not getting it. Oh, oh. So
Yeah.
I'm probably like yourself. I've pulled myself away from that.
I would say, like, for me, there's stuff that I really like to do, like either my music or stuff like you saw, like the Juju Gum conspiracy. That was really something for me when I worked only for money. So I say, what you want, tell me exactly what you want, and I then deliver exactly what they want without any artistic input. And I think that's better because I
Slash.
never I never mixed my artistic intention or integrity to actual, like, right. I always
Well,
I always manage to separate them and I had to separate them physically, like at my work, but in my head also. If I spend 8 hours on a corporate video with a shitty soundtrack, then when I take my synth, it has to be something totally different.
Imagine.
Wow. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. It takes a lot of say patience to do that.
Yeah, 10 years. So it's a big slice of my life. I think I'm already like, always been like this kind of period. Now I kind of feel like I complete like a 10 years level in the video game. Now I'm ready for the next thing.
So are you actually like retiring? I mean, like a front porch with a chair and a picket fence and maybe an apple tree, or are you moving on to some new creative ideas, new creative things?
I think I'm going to still need to do money. So I'm going to be doing some project I'm working on right now, but also Julia and I we're gonna move away from Montreal City. Now we live in Montreal. Probably gonna move in Nova Scotia, so you're gonna be closer if you want to stop by. And I'm gonna build a recording studio in the middle of the wood. That's pretty much my main goal.
Well,
So it's gonna a recording studio for music. I'll do video, but never corporate again. It's gonna be film, documentary, and fashion. Those are the real thing I love to do. That's why I started this job anyway.
Well, that's very exciting. And when you're in Nova Scotia, I will say, without a doubt, I will come to visit.
It's funny because Seb and Hélène, that's a Philo Dandron, were like, oh, we need to go in Newfoundland, stop by, see Bucky, have a beer with. How's your friend? How's your friend? Your friend again? I forgot his name now.
Doghouse.
Doghouse.
Doghouse. Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot his name because he's saying my name so well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have to go hang out with you in Doghouse at some point.
Well, we're very much the same as yourself. We've been involved in we're both teachers, but we've both been involved in a lot of corporate stuff. He worked corporate in New York for a long time, and we both have done lots of things. Like he's a host of an interview show that's on cable, but it's broadcast right across Canada. It's the most watched cable TV program in all Canada. It's like for like local, you know what I'm saying, like not CBC or anything like that, but like it's for the an Eastlink or a Rogers, like a small scale like that. I don't know anything about TV, but in that branch, that category, it's the most watched program in all of Canada. So he's been doing that. He's been doing that for like 10 years, I think. Anyway, he was here at the house a few days ago, and he was saying, "Man, I just got to get out of this. I mean, it's a good gig, but he's like I got to start. We got to do some other things. So we're always working on projects. We're always working on other things.
You can ask Julia. She heard me for the last basically 5 years. Like, I need to get out of this. It's good money, but I need to get out. Right at some point, it's just like. Especially, I've been running the show by myself for the last 10 years, right? As a director, editor, doing the audio recording, mixing, recording narration, doing the color, the delivery, customer contact. It's like, it was a point where I needed to hire a team and train them or just basically give away what I built, which I pretty much just did, but feel good. Do you still play fiddle, Bucky? Why I'm on the mic? I see Rondon's there too. I like Rondon.
Hey, Rondon's here. I still play the fiddle. Yeah, but that's like I've been playing that forever. So, I picked up a new synth the other day, and I feel you'd like this. I think. Picked up a new
Tell
synth.
me about it.
I've got I had a birthday, and for my birthday, my wife said, yourself something nice for your birthday. And I said, I don't know, maybe like a couple of sheets of plywood might be good for
That's too
So
expensive, she
yeah,
said.
exactly. So yeah, that's right. So I got an Arturio microbrute.
Oh, microbrew. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm sorry, micro freak. Micro freak.
Oh,
I'm
even better. I do have this one, and listen to this. There's a fucking vocoder on this. They just implemented it,
on
and
the mic on the micro freak. Yeah, yeah.
I have this
It
little machine, and I love it so much. What's a good investment? Because it's such a small synth, and there's so much stuff, and it's tactile, right?
yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
like
I
pressing
love
the
it.
key.
Yeah,
And I
I
have
love it.
one, and actually, like I have a playlist of song I'm supposed to play if I can shut up. So I have one that I recorded. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna play a track, and you're gonna tell me by the way if you hear it good. And I'm gonna
Nice.
play you a track because it's special. I'm gonna play you a track that I did the first day I got the Micro Freak. And I
That would be
used
cool.
only and I used only the micro freak to all the layer of this track. So it's a really like first day, first track using only the micro freak. It's a track called Supra Programming. Let's see if I can get this going. Julia, she showed me earlier. I have to go in the general Julia, but
You have to go and playing with bot.
play with bot. Play with bot. Where's that? Here. Okay. All right, we're gonna play a track called Super Programming. And
Ah,
wait,
T'as mis ça 2 fois.
all right. So we're gone for 4 minutes, people. Stick with me. Music time. And we're back. Welcome to NFT Showroom radio show. I'm still there.
I'm still here, inspired by the sound. I was just adding a dancing.
Yeah, look at what you're doing now. It's start to look cool already. Is Bucky still around?
I am, and uh, some one time somebody said this. I don't know who actually said this, but they said it's a dangerous thing for an artist to have a blank piece of paper in front of them because you the pressure's on. That piece of paper, you could create anything on that. You can create the most beautiful poem, the most beautiful piece of visual art. You can do all kinds of things with a blank piece of paper. It's going to test your abilities as an artist, that blank piece of paper. Well, you see, you got the micro freak, and within the first day, you made a beautiful piece of music. I got the micro freak, and I didn't do that.
Why not? You're
because
gonna do some
beca-
useful music with this, I'm sure.
maybe someday, but right now it's really crappy music. Really crappy music with that. So that blank piece of paper for me, I'll make a paper plane, I think, and make it fire it away.
Yeah, make it fly super high. So I'm gonna tell you about the micro freak right now when we got just listen to the track. There's really fun stuff you can do. The arpeggiator tool is the best fucking arpeggiator ever. So I use it all the time for anything arpeggio or just a sequence is amazing. And then what I really like, they added the, and I figure out on Ive, a guy, what's his name? Nick, what? Bones and Noman, Nick, he did a post like, oh, the micro freak, now they added the vocoder if you do the update. I'm like, what? So it was already a good synth, it was already a good deal, but now pretty much for every sound, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I like your little setup. You see, my setup is exactly similar to this, but the only difference is there no tree in the window, and that need to change. I need the tree in the window just like you.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
need
gonna
some.
have everything
Yeah,
the same, but right now there's no tree in the window. That's the
yeah.
main
You
problem
need
here.
some good Nova Scotia trees. Some good Nova Scotia trees.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Montreal is a bit, I moved in Montreal in 2001. And now, 20 years later, I think Montreal is becoming pretty lame. Right? It was exciting. It was a bigger city when I moved there, and then for where I came from, and so much possibility, so much cool stuff. Now I feel like the cool is gone, and it's just stupid now. So I'm moving out. Yeah,
I heard that the Cool has moved to the East Coast. I think it's East
yeah.
Coast Cool.
I had such a good time last time I went in Nova Scotia, and I was there with Julia, and I'm like, oh, this is probably like a good place to come to move.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
Sounds Russian somehow.
You ever went to Nova Scotia, Elgeko?
No?
Canada? You came to Canada once? US?
US I have been several times, but I think I was never in Canada, sadly.
Well, on the East Coast, if you're in the US and the East Coast, like New York and shit, it's the same
Yes.
kind of temperature.
Yeah. It was Atlanta, Miami Beach, Miami, Florida, a few states I got. It's also a long time ago.
Something funny happened, Elgeko, the other day. You made some NFT showroom promo video, and
Yep.
I have 200 and no, I have maybe 300 track right now. And for some reason, you choose one called Neon Scarab. That's a
Yes.
drum and bass kind of thing, jazzy funk. And as you were choosing that track from my catalog, I was choosing the exactly same one for an NFT showroom video. How's that as a coincidence?
It's 1 in 300. That's
It's 1 in 300.
0.33%. That's the chances are not very high.
And I say, hey, it's funny, choose this track. And I did the video for Julia. I was thinking like, oh, that'd be good if we can display what kind of high level artists we have on NFT showroom right now. So I put that track in the playlist. I don't know if it's time to play a track already. I'm feel like a DJ, trying to respect the timeline.
You can feel free to play anytime a track.
All right, so the next track is called Neon Scarab. I choose it. Elgeko choose it for NFT showroom, so that means something. 1 out of 300. And I think this track is probably my most friendly, if I say friendly. I like screeching sound, I like weird stuff, I like distortion. But this one is kind of friendly. Tell me what you guys think. Let's go.
Friendly song from the dark guy.
And we're back to Radio NFT Showroom.
And it's looping already because you made loops, so it's easy. Just
It's
with
look
the
amazing, by the way. I didn't comment on anything yet, but it look pretty fresh what you're doing on the side there.
I splashed quite 20 layers already in After Effects.
Yeah.
The composition, and I
How
didn't
many
use
layer?
the.
How many layer until your how many layer until your computer crash?
I can add some layers. If I
Sometimes
don't
I
have
do.
it,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I close this one now, then we can go further. That would be a good idea. Leave. So
I have zero limit, so I'm on After Effect, and I usually add layer until it's crash. So how many layers is that? Sometimes it take 1,000. If you add some light, I really
Yeah,
like to make crash my computer. Bucky had a question. Vachemorte, is that all on keyboard or their acoustic parts? So this is real instrument that you just heard. The bass is a fretless bass that I play, and piano, they're all analog, and the drum is a mix. It's not a real drum, but I play the drum with pad, so I put sample on pad. So yeah, it's all real instrument, except maybe the drum would be play live but on pads instead of a real drum. Where, you have to pop up the window. Is Krim still there? I see Krim. Oh yeah, she's rocking out. I have a metal. I have 2 track, one for Krim, one for Rondon. So I have a metal track for Krim, and I have a folk track for Rondon because I know he's a bit of a hillbilly. Is
you
he?
know all the tastes. You know all the tastes from the people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was pretty happy with those layer. When I did them yesterday. I say, oh snap, time to get something done for Elgeko, and
Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool task to work with. It's cool
it's
with transparency. It's much cooler than to make cutouts on the live show and stuff like this. So
yeah.
it's really helpful with transparency.
And I think they're Lego blocks, so you can basically do anything with it. It's always going to look different. I like how you use the tubular stuff there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much on top. The background.
All right, Krim.
Cutting.
I want
Ah,
to see Krim. Krim, is
Hoo-
she there?
hooray! I
Hooray.
see it in the chat. She's here. Yes.
Krim, put the. I see she's typing. All right, she's
He's
there.
waiting for your heavy metal song.
The next one. Okay, so the next one is especially for Krim, because I like her. I met Krim 2, 3 times, and she's amazing. She's not just amazing in Discord; she's amazing in real life too. And but she never play any of my metal song in her show. I don't know why. I think she's a bit snub. But this one is a mix of jazz and metal. So for me, I'm so obsessed with jazz. So everything I do, I try to put a little jazz in there. So this one is called The Odyssey. It's from my EP that's called The Betrayer of the Crown, which is all 4 tracks of metal. And here you go. This one's go to Crimson Clad.
Oh yeah.
Should I host a radio show?
Yes, you should.
The French accent would work. Oh no.
Yes, the French
it-
accent would work, and
It's good for the sex appeal, I guess.
yes.
Bucky's rocking Crimson. I got the seal of approval of Crimson Clad after 5 years. Finally, it was a hard work, Crim. You make me work for it, eh?
You should definitely make a radio show. You have a
Well,
Um,
to be honest, I even neglected my close friend and stuff the last 10 years. So how busy I was. So I feel I need some catching up to do. Right, prioritizing what's really important.
yes, that makes sense.
Hey, I see an alien now, Elgeko. There's an alien
I
right there.
switched to an alien
Whoa. I like where it's going.
and
Alien art.
I just also saved it as the first light tensor Vachemorte because on the second half I want to try something in cinema with the alpha. I'm curious how this will look.
And what
The old card trick.
yeah, the thing in the background you use one of my layer, but I couldn't tell what one you use, so that's pretty good.
Oh, it's
you
a
use
whole
the spine one?
it's a whole bunch of layers now. Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that look fresh. Keep going. I love it. All right, now we're testing Rondon. Rondon. 3, 2, 1. Where's the Rondons at? He's in the chat, he's in the mic. He's faking it.
Fake news.
Rondon is fake news. He's not even there. How's that? Julia should just scream from the other side of the apartment. Rondon is fake news. I want to see him typing now. Hey, Rondon, where you at, brother? Ron Gun. Ron Gun is Ron. Rondon is Long Gun.
So I had to fix the border of the layer. There is a faster way, but I made it the old way, pre-compose and then raise the resolution. I think
So
there is
tell
an
me,
effect.
Elgeko, do you mint a lot of stuff on Ethereum right now or not at all? We're on
Not at
NFT
all.
showroom.
No, not at all. After
Me
using, I was on Ethereum 2015, 2016, and I was a big fan of automated organization DAO, and then there was this DAO hack, and then I saw a delegated proof of stake from Dan Larimer, and then I joined Steam, and then I wrote 100,000 transactions. In every transaction was working. There was no zero fault. There was in the last 4 years, I don't know how many million and every transaction was done in 3 seconds, and every transaction was for free. And then I come into this NFT Ethereum world, like my loop back into Ethereum. And it doesn't matter if you pay 80 cents or $1.20 to mint an artwork. Maybe it's good to have a little fee so you avoid spam and crazy ideas and stuff and destructive filling of the blockchain and stuff. But to pay $500 in total, $9,100 billion this year alone is paid by the poor Ethereum users who are milked the big way. It's robbery. I think it's robbery because
I
there
really
is
think
dozens of chains out there who can do it faster with no cost. So why do the users are willing to pay $9,100 million? That's more than that's more than 100 blockchains combined market cap if you look at the 300 to 400 or something. And these are all legit projects. I refuse to mint, to keep it short. I refuse to mint for $200 because it's just taking the money to burn something, to pay. Now it's cheap currently. to burn something is like $3, $5, $3, $4, $5 or something. If I work on NFT showroom and I wanna sort my collection and I wanna burn some art and I wanna move some art to a different account and then I wanna mint something and then change prices and I can do it fluidly with no interference. It's just a click. I said, take it off the sales. It's off the sales. I put a new price. There is a new price. Then I change my mind and I take two off again and burn them and raise the price of the other two. And that's what maybe an artist who has a lot of art, what the people want to do is to shift things, to change things, to move things, to change the price, to burn this piece or to burn the last 15 of the edition, to pay for every fuck some dollars. It's just adds up. It adds up. In the end of the year, I don't know how massive users, how much they paid. I don't want to know how much fees Colburn or the Mocker paid by acquiring the gallery. It must be millions of dollars in today's Ethereum prices.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
So we're
And the
gonna chill and
Uniswap. And it's
yeah.
not only the art, it's also the financial systems. There's a lot
Yeah.
of DeFi Uniswap. The Uniswap users alone pay 2,100 million just to swap their coins. It's
Yeah.
they take out the money of every project. You run a layer one coin. What shall people do? Stake it. Costs $70 to stake it, and then you earn $15. And if you claim it, it costs 50. That's a that's a minus. That's a minus adventure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
either you go for millions, then Ethereum is okay because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for a people artwork which sells for $3 million if there is a fee of $200. Nobody cares. But for the normal or for the younger artists who have to make a name for themselves, Ethereum is a shithole and it's cutting out all the small artists. All the small artists have to look for alternatives, which is a good thing in the end because Ethereum will just lose a lot of users to Telos and Hive and Ghost and Soul and Matic. Matic was
Yeah.
booming big time because Avatars was released. It's
Yeah. I get it.
the consumer can decide
Yeah.
where to
Always
go.
tell Julia, here's your keyword: faster, cheaper, greener. NFT showroom, right? It's
Yep.
all. It's faster. You don't need to pay pretty much nothing, like $2.50 or something to mint a piece, and 3 second, and it's green. There's no carbon footprint and all that bullshit. Did you try Tezos? I didn't try it, but
I made a wallet, then I bought some Tesos, and then the wallet on Bittrex was not, I couldn't move it.
shit.
I bought two things. I bought Wax on Hit PTC and I bought Telos on Bittrex. And both were stuck for weeks. It's maintenance, wallet offline. Maintenance, wallet offline. Both of them. So I just made an account and I couldn't move my Telos till now.
Yeah. I
I
would
think
say the best is to never add anything on exchange, right? But if you can't get it out, that doesn't solve the problem.
they sell it and I bought it. And then you
Yeah.
can't move it. And then you wait for a few days and then you wait for a week. I think on Hit BTC I sold them already because they are stuck forever. The waxing is old. It's like 3 months. Never in 3 months was the wallet to move the fund out of the exchange, which is basically blocked. So they block to move out funds in specific currencies which are in maintenance forever.
There's one of our friend. Well, first of all, I started minting a piece in January in Maker's Place, and that never publish. And in the peak, if I say speed the transaction, right? It was around $800. I just checked when you were talking. No, today is not bad. It's like $40, but
800 was your maximum. That's
it
kind of,
was like, I guess, in the peak when Ethereum was 4,000 or something. That
yes,
was
I
around
was,
$800. But you're like, right, no, that's not gonna happen. And yeah, transaction. So for me, I always thought crypto proof of work doesn't work. What's proof of work? Bitcoin, Ethereum, that's proof of work. If they don't upgrade, it's gonna fail. And I'm not gonna say I am a believer in Bitcoin right now. I was a believer in Bitcoin in 2015, right? But now I believe in the proof of stake type blockchain. I guess Hive could fit in this, but uh, other blockchain that doesn't use that much consumption, like Cardano or XRP, and all those gonna host NFT in the future. So I spoke with one of my friend earlier today. He's an amazing artist, and Julia and I we tried to push him into create NFT with his art because it would make a lot of money. And right, but he's like, oh, I'm not sure because that's not good for the environment. I'm like, what about Julia's platform? That's good for, right? And he's like, oh, I'm not sure. So there's already like, there's a problem, there's already a solution, but nobody's
exactly.
no nobody actually like want a solution right now. They're like, oh, Ethereum's so expensive, so slow, not good for the environment. Yeah, what about NFT showroom? Oh, I don't know. Well, there is option.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. The option is here for the fifth year now, 2016.
yeah,
And it's not only the problem with the electricity. There is a bunch of other things than Larry were thinking about. Security. Look at all the artists who lost their wallets to some kind of swap exchange scam. Bruce the Goose and there was this Czech girl and others. It's just in 1 year there are several artists getting robbed of their money and their artworks and the NFTs, everything gone, just with one key. Hive has 3 pairs of keys, which makes it
yeah,
a little bit more complicated to understand for a newcomer, which is a problem. But the security behind is grandiose. It's grandiose. There is a time lock. There is a posting key. If my posting key, which I usually use only my posting key for all what I use on social networks. Peak
yeah,
D, I give upvotes and I give downvotes and I write articles. If this key is compromised, first of all, my key never leaves the browser. It's in keychain, which is like MetaMask.
yeah.
And
Key
if you
chains is
fall
like,
for a scamming or a phishing scam, they have to ask for your key. They can't say, let's use Hive Signer or keychain. It's just if the users would be a little bit more educated, this kind of scam wouldn't have any chance because you never give your keys anywhere. And if somebody asks for a key, he is a scammer because he's the
wow.
only one asking for the key.
Yeah,
If this would go into the consciousness of all users, this kind of phishing scam wouldn't have any chance.
yeah. I never fell for a scammer, but I did lost a lot of crypto. Well, when I say a lot of crypto, it was not a lot of crypto back then, but obviously now it would worth a lot of money due to exchange. I think exchange, especially for trader, because they see the order book, they basically like rinse all the trader. So I got victim of that back in the days because I didn't know
Yes,
better. But in the
yes,
same time, the money I lost then, I'm like, okay, now I have to be tighter with my shit because if they can just take my money like this, I can't trust them, right? So at the beginning, you go on an exchange, you're like, oh, I trust them. It's a real exchange, everybody using it, right? But then if I look at the chart and I'm gonna call out Poloniex. If you look at chart of Poloniex, you can see they have really suspicious price movement activities, and I'm sure they just rinse every trader. So if someone want to trade crypto, I would say never use Poloniex based on their chart. They rinse their trader every day, every week. They rinse their trader,
It's the
and
business
I
model, I
never
guess.
trade. I never trade anything on Poloniex, never. But I can see their chart, what they do, right? So be careful, people out there with exchange. They're not good people. And now next track, this one, Rondon still didn't show up, so I'm gonna give another one to Bucky. This one is called The Palace of Liberal Arts, Louisiana, 1904. And why I title it like this, there's a thing that I'll start to watch a few video about on YouTube. It's called so at the beginning of the century there was the World's Fairs, and they build like amazing building, incredible architecture, especially for the time. Almost too good. It's almost suspicious, those buildings. So I got really interested in like who actually built those buildings and what's the thing. And I did a whole series about, I guess, using the visual of all the World's Fairs from the beginning of the century, like 1904, this one, but there was prior and after. And it's an interesting topic, and that was what I decided to visually use to represent this jazz series. So that's a jazz trio. And jazz trio, it's me with me and me. So there's no two other musicians. I'm a trio. So I play the bass, I play the piano, and I play the drum. This one's called The Palace of Liberal Arts, Louisiana, 1904 by Vachemorte. Here you go. And we're back.
And I'm saving the scene.
It look amazing, by the way. What's going on over here? I'm gonna stretch my window a little bit to check it out. Whoa! I like. Is it like a light burst that you put on those balls on each side? It's pretty fresh.
Yes, it's a trap code shine. It's very handy effect.
Oh, you have some plugin on a Red
It's a
Giant
plugin.
plugin.
Yes, yes.
So I usually use a lot of. My main tool is After Effects when I do NFT, I guess, except for the music. So I would say I create art, including the layers I gave you, all created in After Effects from scratch. I just take a start with a solid, do
Oh,
shape.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just by blank without any elements or input.
exactly. So
Okay.
basically, the color you have, like that kind of cyan color, started the solid with that. Then, yeah. And then I modify it all in After Effects. I really like After Effects. I think my strongest
It's a
software that
powerful
I know
software.
is After Effects and Premiere, right? All the Adobe series, Photoshop, Audition. I learned all of those. Dreamweaver. My
After
music,
Effects is powerful with all the plugins. It's really powerful. It's
I
powerful as it is already.
yeah,
But
I
if you
think the
wanna have
plug.
you use particular, right? I saw some particular things in your
I,
work.
all the plugins that I use, basically, it's I don't use. I'll be honest, I don't use any plugin. So when you download a plugin like Red Giant or other stuff, it's usually like one of their plugin is a combination of two, three effect. So if you know what effect, you can pretty much do it without the plugin. I know I make my life harder sometimes
Yeah,
because I
that's
just don't have. I have a blank After Effect version, so there's no. I used to have a bunch of plugin back in the days, a previous version, but not anymore. But I go without most of the time. I just gonna say I dropped. So the last track was a 1904 World's Fair, Louisiana, and I posted the video in the general chat. So if people are interested in architecture and why I did a series of tracks based on the World's Fairs, that little video is 1 minute and a half, but it kind of show a kind of 360 of what's the World Fair look like in 1904. And if you think about 1904, they had barely electricity, no mechanical or gas crane to build building, right? They have horse and fucking buggy. So that's pretty interesting historical piece about architecture that I just put there in the chat. So if people are interested to know why, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, that's what I'm talking about. The World's Fair 1904, man. So what you doing, Elgeko?
stretching
Describe a
the
little bit what you
I
do.
I was stretching now. It doesn't look very sensational. I was just making a time remap.
I like
And
what it's like. There's almost air or string
so,
there, and the lights go through it. I kind of like that.
yeah, but I also have to make the same thing here because the trail is moving out of the border that I fix. I also know how to do all these effects by hand, and that's cool to be able to make your own drop shadow or glitch or from scratch, which is there is there is filters you can just glitch and it glitches, and there
Yeah.
is filter you can control like Twitch from Video Copilot, which was very
Yeah,
useful.
exactly. I was gonna go there
Be-
because last week you talked about with Skinny, and you got Video Copilot. I remember because you After Effect, and maybe you were working in the same time as me with those. I did all the Video Copilot tutorial, and
You
use
did them
the
all. Wow, yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot.
the glitch one and the fake blood explosion shotgun. Right, I did a bunch of those tutorial, and then I actually bought one of the kit for the film I did with Julia called the Juju Gum Conspiracy. Bloods.
Yes, that's
I
the
bought like a batch of blood splatter and smoke and stuff, and I use it in the film. But like maybe 15, 20 years ago, I actually like did all the tutorial. So when you mentioned that last week, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So you know the Twitch effect as well. This
Yeah.
is just helping time. It's just helping you to avoid repetitive
Oh
things, and you
yeah.
just have your setups, and then you tweak your setups, and it's very fast to make very complex twitches with the Twitch. Holo, what was the? I have it here. What's Holo Matrix? Is it's also very complex tool to make this holographic screen effects like from the old Star Wars film from the android when the android projects Princess Leia's transmission.
Yeah. Well, I like the one of my main inspiration for art and even music. I would say that's like 70s and 80s sci-fi that are not good, like B series or right. In the 70s, they have a sci-fi movie where they have a dial phone or something, right? So it's I always like the kitsch of the 70s sci-fi, and you get something going on there that could be a cover from a science fiction book from the 70s. So I'm really digging this.
The
Are
old
you
sci-fi.
done?
The old sci-fi.
The old retro sci-fi, and we love it if it's look a little bit kitsch. Kitsch is
Yeah,
good.
I just wanted to say it's the kitschy thing which makes it also funny. There
Yeah.
is a kind of humor in this. I
Hey,
found a video of an old film where the superstar or the main character in the film is a guy who was trained in radioactivity and now he has superpowers and stuff. So super trashy films. There are so many
well,
I don't know about because they are not promoted in Europe or played nowhere. Or I'm sure there is a lot of films I don't know anything about because
yeah.
just missed them.
I'm just gonna give you an example that come to
I didn't
mind right
miss Choo
now.
Choo. I didn't miss Choo Choo Gum.
I'll send you the link. It's not listed anywhere right now, but I'll send you a link. Uh,
Maybe you should rewrite Choo Choo Gum into a sequel and release the sequences as NFTs.
we actually thought Julia when we finished the film, we're like, oh, what a sequel look like. So we actually entertained the idea, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Uh, one when I think about kitsch sci-fi, there's always an example. I don't know if you saw the movie Logan's Run. You saw that?
Think
It's a
so.
classic.
No, mhm.
It's worth rewatching just for the kitsch decor. When I say retro sci-fi, it's exactly what I'm of. Are you
Cheap,
ready for an
the
yeah.
cheap tricks.
Yeah. Are you ready for another track, Elgeko?
Yes, always
So
inspiring when I
the
work.
next one, the next one, it's called Binary Commutator, and I have some custom toy synthesizer that I got built by I guess genius of a toy synthesizer. So I do use a lot of toy synthesizer in this track. So it's recorded with real instrument, including toy synthesizer that's been modified. And that one is a bit retro sci-fi. So here you go. And we're back on the Elgeko radio show, right?
Welcome back.
What are you doing now, man? I see
I've
you choosing some
switched.
color. Oh, 3D view. Huh?
I switched now. I'm not sure if you can read the. Oh yes, you can. But why can't I see anything? He sees them off with 438 frames. I can't see anything.
So, Bucky asked, what gear did you use on that last tune? I have an image of all the gear I use for this track. I think I posted maybe a month back or so or two. I'll find it. I'll put it in the chat. I also put the lyrics of this track because with the vocoder you can't hear really what I say, but I put the lyrics in there. I'll get back to you in a minute. Bucky, I'm checking this out. During Elgeko's doing the Mega 3 setup. I use some toy synthesizer. That's what I said as in the intro. In that track, I use maybe two or three track, and I found the image right away. I was looking for Bucky. So Bucky, the answer is the following. I did a collage with the actual four synth I use for this track, and here you go. So I did use the one you have called the Micro Freak. I use a Micro Korg. I have the same one with the black keys, which I think is pretty good. It's limited edition. And the two synth on the bottom, they look like toys because they are toys. So the if you start from the top, you have Micro Korg, you have Arturia Micro Freak, and then you have a Casio. The Casio's been modified by one of my good friend, Dan from Screwed Circuit. He's doing custom modification on synthesizer for me. I have four of his synthesizer right now, and the two in the bottom are custom piece he did for me last summer. So the Casio normally you can buy it at Walmart normal for $50, right? It's a toy kid, but he added a pitch shifter, uh, starving frequency and distortion, and there's two channel now. There's a mono channel and a stereo channel. So basically, I can record. I can record two tracks for this synth, and they give something totally different. So there's a noise jack that's mono, and there's a clean jack that's stereo. And the one in the bottom that's even more ghetto, but that's been customized too, is like a toy from China. I don't know much. You probably like $20. This kind of synth, really like a toy. It's plastic. It's feel doesn't feel good quality, but Dan added a pitch, added a jack, and I love those things, man. And they make me happy. When I walk in my office, there's a bunch of synthesizer toys. It's put a smile on my face every day when I walk in my office. I have a whole wall of toy.
Some troubles here.
You're
I don't
gonna
know.
see. You're gonna see this. I'm gonna
Codec
make
problem.
video. Sorry, Gecko.
I'm not sure what codec you have used. Maybe my Earth 23 doesn't like the codec or something. The
I
media
use
player is playing it, and After Effects accepted it perfectly with mask. So
yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't show up here. I could try to convert it in my codec, but
So I use to codec for video that are alpha channel. I use animation and with the RGB plus alpha channel. But today I used Apple ProRes 4444
that could be
without the alpha channel. Oh, you'll figure it out. There's no rush. You don't need to finish a piece in the next
exactly.
half hour. Yeah,
Exactly.
right. You're gonna send me send when you think you're done. Send it to me. I'll put some noise on this. Right.
Yes, perfectly. That's cool. That's superb.
Richard F. Yates, he say he have the Casio, but not as fancy as yours. It's the same sound, Richard. It's exactly the same thing, but just to add a pitch, it's really create a lot of noise and distortion, and if that's what you're looking for. I buy toys because it's look like armless, but then I make the most dangerous sound I can with them. So that's a little game. I'm not an instrument snob of the opposite of that. A lot of people that have a lot of synthesizer, they like they need like a Juno 6 and they need this and that, and I'm not a snob. I'm the opposite of a snob. I'm instrument of music. Actually, I don't know if you know that, Gecko. Bucky know about it. I study guitar and fiddle making back in the days. That's almost
Making.
25 years ago. So yeah, I built it. I had my own shop and everything. I built it guitar and fiddle from scratch.
Okay, that's a tough task. I couldn't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know where to start, honestly.
Well, you learn. It's like anything, right? I had a class for
You mean completely
3 years.
with wood carving and everything like
Yeah, so you start basically we start with trees like from scratch, really like the process from scratch. So now, yeah, there's no like it's not like an electric guitar which you buy a bunch of pieces and you just screw them together. You actually build and sculpt and sand and cut and all this good shit. I did that for I studied 3 years in this and maybe I practiced for like 3 years. But now, when I'm going to be officially in retirement, I'm going to do it again. Ah, Julia, I saw she linked the website for my friend Dan, who do
root circuiting.
yeah, he's doing circuit bending on little synthesizer. That's definitely a guy to follow. I love his work. I have 4 synthesizer from him, and honestly, they're bomb. They're all bomb. They all look like little toy, but can create some really chaos with those. Oh, here's Bucky with the Casio Veltone. I still have mine. I'm never gonna sell it. $4 in a garage sale. Yeah, we do have one. And I was considering have it circuit bent. This Casio Veltone that Bucky just showed in the chat, but I decided not to keep it original, keep it clean from the 70s. Same thing. So Gecko, do you see the layer?
No.
No. All right, we're gonna play
I
another
was
song.
I was converting it into XDV, which is also working. I was updating from S22 to R23, and it's never changed the running system, but I had to because of the 360 and stuff of last week.
All right.
I-
Then the next track.
If it doesn't work within this next track, I will switch back to After Effects so we have more to see on the screen. Not me
There's no
fiddling around with the mobile in cinema.
There's no stress. So the next track is pretty lame. My lyrics is I'm gonna tell you my lyrics, Elgeko, and I'll tell you how to react. Okay? It's called "Do You Want to," and the whole lyric of the song is like, "Do you want to dance with me?" Is it too lame, or should I play it anyway?
Play it.
All right. Do you want to? Let's go. Radio NFT showroom with Elgeko and Vachemorte.
We are back.
I see you changed software. We're sick
Yes,
of dealing with this 3D thing. Eh?
exactly. I have to
All right.
fix
I like
off
it.
the
I
show.
like it. All right. Bucky liked the track. So mission accomplished for me.
Like the track too. It's very, very
So
subtle.
I say as a joke because the lyrics I came up with them in like 10 seconds, right? Because this track is most of my music is improvised, so I don't prepare, I don't do anything. I just put my hands in the keyboard, put my hands on the drum, take the bass, see what happens. So there's zero preparation, and I'm gonna say most of the time it's my first take, then I keep. I'm not gonna do like 20 takes and try to mix it and chop it or anything like that. I'm just, okay, go. It's challenging, but for me, I prefer the result because I know how it's been done, right? It's like impulsive art versus like planified, planned art where you think for months what you're going to do, right? Instead of just doing it. What do you think, El Gecko?
Yes, there's two worlds. One is completely actionism and real time and life and it just happens. And these are the kind where you just re you just put something into existence without thinking even about it. And I like this kind of thing. And there is the other kind which is conceptual, where you really have a plan, a picture, or then you scribble it, and then you think about the characters and the elements. Like for filmmaking, for example, as you filmmaking, it's it's getting stressy if everything is like let it flow. It doesn't work in complex art. There need to be some boring stuff in between the muse when you're the painter, like the classic painter. He had to know how to get his pencils and how to mix the colors, and the oil painter. And it was just a little part of his time where he could enjoy the brush strokes and to realize the picture and to actually paint. There is today you can compare it like you really want to make an artwork, and you make the artwork, and then you have to compile it, and then you have to convert it, and then you have to promote it, and then you have to be present here and there and there and there. So it's just a fraction of the time you really can enjoy. That's why I'm sometimes a little bit sociophobe, and I'm just taking time off Twitter and posting every day and stuff like this. I'm 56 years old also, so
Oh, yeah, you're 56.
it's
I'm
not that
about,
multitasking anymore. When I was young,
uh,
I was left mouse on the left computer Amiga and the right mouse on the trackball of the Abacus A64, and
yeah,
it was like multitasking
old
and
school.
old school. Yes.
Oh, OG, just like me, a OG in the game. Original gangster. I'm almost,
The name online art is on a flyer from 1989, one of my first sessions. It was live in the Linzer Kulturhaus. It's a cultural place, and I was painting live. So it was the name online art is very old, and it was sleeping for 25 years. The name. I resurrected it with the
uh,
NFT with this show.
good idea.
Yes, back to the
Ru-
roots.
Back
Back
to
to
the
the
roots.
roots.
I love that. I love that. So,
This
Richard,
brush is nice too. I will
yeah.
keep this brush and save it here.
So Richard, I have to go. I don't know if he's still around. I think he's gone. But I really like Richard F. Yates' art. I bought one
Yes,
or two pieces. It's pretty. That's good because you can feel it's impulsive. His thing is going really right. An idea, a sketch, and
Yes.
Feel
Uh,
like a lot of impulsive art, and I like the end result of that. Something that I like. Also, I also enjoy art that are complex and right. Another so for someone that do impulsive art, I would think about Richard F. Yates. But
yes. The
there's
card
if I think
poet.
about like some really thought arts that are really well and created over a long period, I would think about Renard Schmidt, right? Stuff
Yes.
like
Yes.
that are
Beautiful.
so intricate, and the level of detail is like astonishing, right?
It is. Yes.
I have another track. This one's for you, Elgeko. I know a
Oh.
bit. I know a bit like you think. I think me and you we think the same, especially about oppressive restriction, right, and
Uh-huh.
politics. So
Mhm.
I'll put the lyrics in the the chat for this next song, and I'm gonna start it. It's called auto asphyxiation.
Cool.
I say the title like I'm ready to play it, but I'm not. So there was
Doesn't
the
matter.
there. Okay, auto
I'm not.
asphyxiation. Now we're rolling. Back on NFT Showroom Radio with your host, Vachemorte and Elgeko.
And Elgeko, the silent host of this show.
Yeah, the silent host is busy. Come on, give him a
You're
chance. He's
definitely
busy.
much more talented for live stream than myself. Especially when I work, it's difficult
Focus on everything,
to
right?
focus on both. Yeah. I can't drop into the painting while following. My multitasking is a little bit difficult with the time. But I
So
made a
Ron,
nice loop. In the end, it fitted to the music somehow.
yeah,
It was
Rondon
very close
is
to the beat.
yeah, Rondon is say is leaving, but I think he fake being here the
Thanks
whole
for
time.
showing. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
I
gone
think
already.
I think Rondon is fake news because he was there, but he was not really there.
We should take him maybe 20 times.
So I'm like, yeah, I was getting ready to play some hillbilly just for Rondon, but then I think it's fake news.
He has a show in 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's there, but he's not there.
It's
He's
fake news.
pretending. I'm typing for Rondon now. All right, that was a real dead air. I know I can
So
type and talk
fully
at the same
silent.
time. Yeah.
I was busy making clones of the layer.
Yeah, this one I like the overlap there. I think as I told you, I'm probably gonna take all those layers, add some more, do a few NFT with those, and probably gonna do something like you're doing right now, overlapping this layers
Mhm.
a few
Yeah,
times. Yeah, something like that is pretty cool.
I need to get something with the spine also here. The spine was number.
What I do the most in After Effects for sculpting and giving like some texture to my stuff, I put lights. So I go in a basic 3D, right? And I usually sculpt the shape with lights. So even if I have a square, I'm gonna put a light spot in the middle and I'm gonna key out the rest and then it's gonna change shape. Do you know what I mean? I
Yes.
do a lot of sculpting with light.
Mhm.
Now I would say the last 2 years it's one of my team.
Yeah, otherwise you couldn't make this from scratch because it has all this shading already. The elements. It's all light. A lot of
Yeah.
light. So you start on black and you just add this kind of where to put this one.
Yeah, I call this layer the spine.
Yeah, that fits very well. I call it also
Look like
spine
a
now.
spine or a fish,
Yeah,
what's
fish
in the
bone.
fish?
Fish
Fish
bones.
bones, yeah. Something like that. All right, so I got a track. I'm gonna pretend Rondon's still around, and I'm gonna play a track for Rondon even if it's not there. Here. Because I play a metal, I play jazz, I play with the mini toy, but I'm gonna have to play a folk song because I'm into folk. Do you like folk, Elgeko? Folk
I
music?
usually the Austrian folk I don't like because maybe it's because I'm Austrian. This kind of yodeling stuff, it's completely alcohol related and I can't relate to it much, but I like the kind of nasty folk rondon plays sometimes.
Yeah. I have
It was
a
the first time I was hearing folk music for 5 or 6 hours was a rondon show. I think it was Hank 1, 2, and 3 or something like this.
yeah, I know about those. The Hank Williams.
So everything I know about this kind of folk, I know from Rondo.
Yeah. So here there's the French Canadian, let's say, there's a musical tradition that's really close to the Irish music. So there's gonna be a little bit of that. I'm not really into Irish music, but I there's the traditional folk from let's say my native land is really close to the Irish folk. I like orchestral folk. I like different stuff. So I play the mandolin. I have a banjo. I play guitar, bass. So when I play some folk music, usually it's gonna include those instruments. This one it's called the Villagers Fair, and there's a few collab on this track. A lot of people used it to remix or do other stuff with, so I like that. I like Second Life on this track. And see you on the other side, Elgeko.
You on
Ready?
the other side.
Yo, Elgeko.
Hello, Vachemorte.
Do you ever
That was
notice how?
nice.
Thanks. Do you ever notice how Julia she always have the perfect emoji and the perfect GIF all the time?
Yes, she must
Special
have
talent.
an alien computer with 1,500 shortcuts to all these GIFs, and
Yeah.
it's very
She said
fast.
like she say I'm a GIF boomer.
GIF boom.
She say you never use the right emoji. I'm like, and I told her I said you're such an emoji snub. Julia, she's so good at it now. She's a snub with her emoji and her GIF meme and shit.
I really have to bow down to the work pensum Julia is
Yeah.
digging through with all the NFT showroom stuff and making art, and it's also,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's difficult to find enough space to create art when you have all these hundreds of people joining in per week. It was a big influx of new users, and
I think
it's quite a
Julia,
task. It's quite a
yeah,
task.
I think Julia, she managed really well her time and she's pretty efficient.
Yeah.
For I see her go and I'm like, yeah, perfect. Keep going. She's doing good. She's doing amazing art this week. She did some few projects, so I can see it. All the magic happened in my living room. Julia
Everywhere.
and I were gonna be. I think next month we're gonna be 21 years since we met the first time.
Congratulations.
21 years, man. Crazy.
That's a long time. Yes, crazy.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it that long, but apparently it happened. So.
that's an extended one night stand.
Yeah, yeah.
Heavily extended.
Heavily extended. Yeah, yeah. At first, I was totally planning just a one night stand, and then turned out in 21 years. Bucky's still around, and the next one is for Bucky. So I have a story for the next track. I'm gonna tell you that Elgeko. Maybe Bucky's still listening. So I found those two guys on YouTube. Their name is John Beckoff, who's died. He died since. He's a fiddler, and the other violinist is Nate Payne. And they had a rendition of an Irish gig that I thought was pretty tight. And I watched the video and then I forgot about it. But then 2, 3 years later, I was still thinking about this video. I say, oh, that was pretty tight. I would like to re-listen to this again. And I went and I decided to sample it, right? A video from YouTube. So I sampled some of the fiddle part. And I say, all right, I'll do a song with it. So I did a whole song. I sampled this, but I didn't ask the musician to use their music, which I never do because I always record my own music. I play all the instrument. I'm really proud of this. Right? I'm not a DJ. Like not that I have nothing against DJ, but that's not what I do. I play all the instrument for real all the time. But I sampled them and I said I wrote one of the guy. So one of the guys died a few years back, and the other guy. I wrote him, I said, listen, I sampled this. I didn't ask you permission. I made a track. I did it for fun. What do you think? Should I distribute it? Should I do anything with it? And he said, yeah, distribute it. I love it. And I said, if the other guy that passed away, if he would like it, he said, yeah, you have full permission. So this one is a Vachemorte special. It's called Say Old Man, Can You Play the Fiddle? That's the title of the track. And it's featuring John Beckoff, that since passed away, and Nate Payne. So let me go in the but I thought I was ready once more, but I was not. So let's do this. Bucky, if you're still around, go type in the chat what you think of this. All right. All right. This one's called Say Old Man, Can You Play the Fiddle? Yeah, all right. That was not bad. Huh? Julia, she's putting the perfect gif again, Elgeko. She got her eyebrow gif going there. Can you see the general chat, Elgeko? Yo, Elgeko, you there, man? I'm alone in the Elgeko show now without Elgeko. All right. So you're with the Elgeko show without Elgeko. We can hear him, but it's fine. I'm still rocking on the mic.
Oh, you can
Vachemorte.
hear me. Sorry, I was muted. Damn it, damn
I
it.
was gonna fill the air, man. I was on the road there. I was gonna play my whole catalog. I can be here all week, no problem.
I was coughing before and then I muted and then I didn't unmute again.
Yeah, I was mentioning how Julia should still have the best gift going on. She got
Yes, she
one with
has.
she got one
But
with the eyebrow right now. Looking at me.
but Clay is the professional eyebrow man. he he has eyebrow pictures.
Yeah, I want to see Clay eyebrow and possibly give
I
him
think
a
he
hug.
has I think it's his fetish. I think it is
He likes
Clay's fetish
eyebrow.
is to collect crazy eyebrow pictures. Yes, he has a huge ton of it.
Yeah, it does. It does look weird like this. So I think that could be his thing. Yeah. Yo, Clay, his eyebrow. You think?
I think I think I can you are making fiddles and if you make music with instruments, it's there's something there's a feeling it's difficult to explain, but maybe it's the frequencies, maybe you check better the right frequency once you feel the vibration on your body with instruments, with real instruments. I think I can feel it in the music and
Yeah.
many of your tracks that you have the
Thanks, man.
feeling for the right frequency, which is only you can only achieve by feeling vibrations a lot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I study in this, I was a young adult, right? And I say I want to do music, but can I make a living being musician, right?
Hmm.
And it's in the I'm old enough that there was no internet and stuff like that back in the days. So it was hard to make a living with music. So I'm like, I'm gonna go with something that's close. I was considering being a sound engineer for a while. Then I'm gonna learn to build guitar and fiddle. So that's gonna be something that's gonna keep me close to the music. And also, I wanted to be able to build my own instrument, but also adjust. So right now, I have a few instruments that are like I have a 130-year-old mandolin. I have a 110-year-old banjo, right? So it's good when you are able to fix, repair, tune your own instrument. So I wanted to learn the skills. And yeah, that period influenced my music than I do today, even if I don't really build instrument right now. And doing music helped me with video editing, right, and stuff like that. And music helped me with martial art because I'm a practitioner of kung fu, tai chi, and stuff like that for 30 years.
Wow,
So
that's
it's all
long.
interconnected. It's all well, at first, I remember my reflection from 30 years ago was like, just choose one thing and focus on that,
Mhm.
which I did. Then I was sad. So I
I
decided,
did too,
yeah,
and I'd,
okay, it's,
it was from my side, contrary to the music, it was the animation and the visual on the computer wasn't accepted at all. It was like you can make special effects and make a job and company, but in the beginning when I started, it wasn't. It was a tough way. It was a tough journey too. So it's not only the audio. I was in a similar position, but just not with the audio, but with the animated picture, which is not the oil painting to be light sarcastic to the
Yeah,
Austrian art
yeah.
community.
But there's the theory that you can't spread yourself too thin, but in the same time, I think the skills are interchangeable. So, for example, my musical skill gonna be interchangeable for making a film, and my film skills gonna be useful for martial art or anything. It's interchangeable. So I think if you just right, it
The
took me a long time to actually figure it out because at some point I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do only music now and martial art for 3 years, right?
I agree 100%. It's a very old quote from Gecko, and I don't have a lot of quotes, but it's the multidimensional thinking strengthens each individual dimension.
Yeah,
If you make a lot of things correctly, and then you can connect it. If you know how
yeah,
to use a camera, light, editing, and music, then you have a different approach than somebody who's just color correcting his whole life
yes,
or just making materials for Pixar or something. I saw
yeah,
people go from Vienna to Hollywood. Ah, he made it, and they came back 1 year later and said it's so. They came back to Vienna because they wanna be universalists. They wanna make something from the stuff from scratch to the end, not sitting in a fabric hall of operators and just doing the same shit every day, just masks and just coloring. And this is the division for the objects, and that was in the early times was huge company, Pixar and Industrial Light and Magic. So
yeah.
it was a dream come true, but it was an art dream for these people. They
I'm gonna tell
didn't
you.
enjoy it. It was good money, but they didn't enjoy
So
the
I'm
workflow.
I'm the guy that actually like I think I accomplished all my dreams so far. So the story is when you accomplish a dream, sometime you start to look for something else. So that was my dream to open a art gallery that was focused on street art and graffiti, right? Which I
Yeah.
did in Montreal in 2003. So that was my dream for like a long time, and then it happened. In the my dream, I even actually sat down when I was 20 something and wrote down my dream, what you want to accomplish in your life. And I put it down, and there was like maybe 10 things. I'm going to say I did most of them, maybe nine or yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of them was like to be owner of a kung fu school, which I did. One of them was to be owner of my own studio. I did, right? It's like I cleared that list out. So when you accomplish your dream, it's the most basic or cliche thing to say, but right, it's more about the journey. It's always about the journey because when you reach your destination, then you're gonna start to look for another destination. That's my conclusion. Chasing my dreams all my life and accomplishing most of them. Some people chase their dream, but they don't actually have a chance to taste their dream. I did
Yes.
all my dream. Everything I wanted to do, I accomplished. Crazy to say that out loud, but it's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
now I realize once I did this, it's not about the dream, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Do you enjoy the process? If you enjoy the process,
That's
that's
Zen. That's
yeah,
Zen statement. The journey is the path, and the
yeah,
path is the goal. Or I don't know the English version.
yeah. Me too. I'm translating some French stuff there. Hey, are we done? It's like
Uh,
2 hours something, and we
yes,
did it.
we
We
yes,
survive.
we survived. We survived.
Should I play one last track?
Thanks for hosting the show. I couldn't do that like you do. It
Should
was a
I
real
play
pleasure.
one last track, my friend,
Yes, one
before we
last
go?
track. Yes,
Okay.
perfectly.
So the last one, I say, oh, I can play that, and Julia, she's like, no, too. It's not enough upbeat, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, this is the end, so time to not be upbeat. So this one is slow and sad. And it featured Julia, and it was basically an experiment I did with my music is soft time. I just play around and do an experiment. And I asked Julia to join in, and that's one is called Cryogenic Erotica. I am going to wish you a great evening, my friend. It was nice
Thanks.
chatting with you
Alright.
today.
Yes, thanks for coming. It was a
Ah,
great
my
show.
pleasure. My
and
pleasure.
It was super
And,
funny.
and you're gonna send me some files, and I'm gonna drop some sound
Perfect.
on it. All right.
Super. All right.
All
You
right.
get some
See you.
movies. You get some movie files for me. See
Oh
you.
yeah, you want to
Have
see the film? I'll send you the link.
yes.
All right. Have a good
All right.
evening.
Good
Peace
evening,
out.
everybody. Thanks for showing. Good night.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.